Hello and welcome back to my channel. We all know that ZZ plants are super easy to care for, but when it comes to repotting, things can go wrong pretty fast if you're not sure how to do it right. Today I'll show you exactly how and when to repot ZZ plant and the key mistakes you will want to avoid to keep your plant healthy and thriving. I'll stick to repotting problems in this video, but if you want to learn more about general care, propagation or other common mistakes, feel free to check out my other videos. I'll leave the links in the description below. ZZ plants, also known as Zamioculcas, have a unique underground structure called rhizomes. Rhizomes are thick potato-like parts that grow beneath the soil. They differ from typical plant roots because they store water and nutrients, helping the plant survive in dry conditions. When you look at ZZ plants' rhizomes, you will notice they are thick and firm, unlike the slender roots you might see in other houseplants. This is why ZZ plants are so resilient and why careful repotting is crucial to avoid damaging these vital parts. These plants need room to spread their rhizomes, so it's usually best to repot this plant every 2 years. However, each plant's needs can vary. If your ZZ plant is in a bright spot with the right conditions, it will grow faster and may need repotting sooner. On the other hand, if it's sitting in a dark corner and not growing much as this one, it's better to focus on improving its care needs instead of repotting. This will help your plant move from just surviving to truly thriving. Now let's talk about when to repot your ZZ plant. As a general rule, ZZ plants usually need repotting every 2 to 3 years. But instead of following a strict schedule, it's better to check the plant itself. If it looks like it's outgrowing the pot or you see roots coming out from the drainage holes, it's a sign the plant is root bound. That means it's time to move it to a bigger pot so it can keep growing well. The best time to repot is in spring, when the plant is waking up and entering its growing season. Choosing the right pot is another important thing. A common mistake many people make is selecting a pot that's too large. It's best to choose a pot that's just one size bigger or about 2 inches wider than the current one. This gives your plant enough room to grow without being excessive. Make sure the pot has drainage holes. This is very important to stop water from collecting at the bottom, which can lead to root rot. If the pot is too large, the soil will dry out very slowly, keeping the rhizomes constantly wet and increasing the risk of losing your plant. The next important step is choosing the right soil mix. These plants require well-draining soil to thrive. If left in heavy, compacted soil, they are prone to rotting. I recommend using a chunky soil mix. A standard houseplant mix with about 30% added perlite or sand works well. This type of soil ensures that water flows freely and doesn't keep the roots too wet, creating an environment that ZZ plants prefer. Let's start with the repotting process. First, make sure the old soil in the pot is dry. This makes it easier to remove the plant without disturbing the roots too much. As you can see here, the rhizomes have deformed the pot, which is another clear sign that they need more space. Don't squeeze the pot too hard, because you could accidentally damage the rhizomes. Instead, try to gently pull your plant out of its current pot. If it comes out easily, that's perfect. But if it's stuck and you're using a plastic pot, I recommend cutting the pot away. This helps avoid damaging the rhizomes and roots. And this is the most common problem when repotting these plants. If the rhizomes get damaged, the plant can go through stress, which may slow down its growth or in worse cases lead to rot. Damaged rhizomes are also more likely to attract pests or infections, so keeping them intact is the best way to keep your ZZ plant strong and healthy after repotting. If you want to multiply your ZZ plant, now is a great time to divide the rhizomes and plant them in separate pots. But if you are not dividing, try not to disturb the roots too much, especially if this is your first time repotting. Gently shake off some of the old soil, but don't be rough. Next, add a bit of your fresh soil mix to the bottom of the new pot. Then place the plant in the center. Fill in the sides with the rest of the soil. And don't press the soil down too hard, because keeping it loose will help with airflow and drainage. After repotting, give your plant a good watering. This helps the soil settle nicely around the roots. Make sure any extra water drains out completely, because ZZ plants don't like to sit in wet soil. Also, avoid fertilizing right after repotting. It's best to wait at least 2 months before adding any fertilizer. This gives your ZZ plant time to adjust and recover from the stress of repotting without risking damage to the roots. And one more thing, always check the soil before you water. Stick your finger into the soil, and if it feels dry, then it's time to water. If it still feels damp, give it a few more days. ZZ plants prefer to dry out almost completely between waterings. So repotting ZZ plants isn't hard, but as you have seen, it's easy to make small mistakes that can cause big problems. If you follow these important steps, your ZZ plant won't go through post-repotting stress. Instead, it will start growing bigger stems and fuller leaves. Using the wrong pot size, heavy soil, or damaging the rhizomes, these are the things you want to avoid. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I will be happy to answer. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. Thanks for watching and happy repotting!